Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a tassel. Now there are a few different ways that people use, so I'm showing you my way and hoping that you'll really enjoy my little tutorial. The materials you need to make your tassels is your yarn, of course. You can use anything you like, thick, thin, multiple colours or not. You will need something firm to wrap your yarn around. Okay, we're going to be going around this way. And look what Mr. Gumnuts chose for us, Carl Barron. He's a really funny Aussie comedian. Check him out if you would like to. You also need a needle and very sharp scissors. This needle is a bit excessive because I've lost all of my darning needles now, so I must replace them very soon. Righto, let's go. Firstly, choose the size that you want for your tassel and have a think about whether you want it to be a thin or a thick tassel. So that will be dependent on how many times you wrap the yarn around. So what I'm going to do is hold on to this tail end here while I'm wrapping around the DVD case. And I'll keep going until it looks right to me. I've wrapped my yarn around Carl Barron 30 times, and that has made for quite a nice size tassel. Not too thin, thick enough so that I've got enough yarn to finish my border. Now, leaving your yarn on your DVD case or whatever you're using, don't be tempted to slip it off because it'll just go everywhere. We need a length of yarn to pop under here. Now, it does need to have some good length to it because we'll be using it to tie onto our project. Pop that length of yarn onto your needle. Now, the way to make this easy for yourself, if we go in on the side, that's easy. We know it's caught all the loops. Then take the needle off, bring that yarn up to the top, even it out, making sure each side is the same. Now we're going to tie some very tight knots, 1 and 2. We will come back to this later, okay? Now, while you have your yarn on the case still is the best time to snip. Because again, if you take it off, you'll be surprised at just how crazy these threads go. I am going to try and go along the very center of the spine. Aiming to have these as even as possible. Let's take that out. Now we're going to lay them down. Straighten them out just a little. Now we need another thread of yarn, probably about the same size as the other one. And this time we're going to thread it around all of these loops. Let's find halfway again. It's a little bit fiddly, but you will get there. Okay, so trying to firm up all of these dangling yarn ends. I'm going to do 1 knot to start with. See how I've got problem areas here? Once you get your yarn wrapped around it, we can pull it down and firm them up, okay? So let's tie this. 1. So about 1 inch from the top, I find looks really cute. Now I'm going to do another knot. Then I'm going to wrap it around and around. So wrapping both sides around a few times. That one goes around that way. And then I'm going to tie another knot. Now what I'm going to do is thread these 2 yarn ends in to the center of the tassel, so they essentially become part of the tassel as well. Okay, I need to do a second knot there. That was a little bit silly of me. Let's pop our yarn onto our needle and then send that down through the center of the tassel. There we go, that's one. Popping your second yarn end on your needle. Now I'm going to just take that under all those wraps we made around the tassel and bring it back out to the front, and I'm going to go over that knot just to disguise it a little bit. So pop that back on, take that one over the knot, and then send it down the center of your tassel. There we go. Now we need to fiddle with your tassel to make this little head section look just right. You can actually do this after you've finished anyway, whenever you would like. All right, let's move on. What you need to do next is even up these little yarn ends. Okay, you can see that there's a few that are a bit longer than others. No matter how hard you try, this always seems to happen, I find. I'm just going to leave it there for the moment until I finish off straightening this little head section. I just want to show you though, before I go, what we do with these yarn ends that we have here. Now we're going to use this to thread into the corner of my big shawl. I won't do it now because I need to finish the border off, but that is what we do. We thread it in and around twice onto your project, and then like the other yarn ends, you pop them on a needle and you send them down the center of the tassel, and then they become a part of it as well. Then you can neaten up the bottom and then you're done. I hope my little tassel tutorial really helped you, because people do make them in a few different ways. That's just how I do it, and I find it is pretty quick and easy too. All right, I will see you all really soon when we finish off this big shawl. Take care and I'll see you then. Bye for now.